What's going on, everybody? First and foremost, I just want to say thank you for clicking on that thumbnail. I know there are plenty of other Giant podcasts out there for you to watch and listen to, but for some reason you clicked on this one, and I want to make that click worth it. So thank you. I'm just a random Giants fan who decided to turn on his camera, and I wanted to talk Giants football. I don't live in New York anymore, so I don't really have too many people that lives in my area who I can talk Giants football with. So I'm here talking it with you, and I hope that you guys come back for more. So today, I want to talk to you about the same thing everybody's talking about right now when it comes to the New York Giants, and that is Saquon Barkley.
They're going to run it, and in the biggest moments, Saquon Barkley said he wanted the ball. Touchdown Giants!
As we know, the deadline for him to get a deal done has came, went, didn't get a deal. His only option is to either play on the tag next year or hold out until, I don't know, he has up until week 10 to get some kind of checks. After that, he can just sit out the season and do it all again in the offseason. But a lot of people are getting very, very upset and emotional. Just emotions. As you can imagine when it comes to your favorite sports team about what's going on, and a lot of that emotion is starting to turn on Saquon Barkley himself, which I don't understand, because a lot of those same people who are upset at Barkley saying, oh, it's only $1 or $2 million, why don't you come out here and play on that, are not upset at Joe Schoen and the Giants for making a business decision. I get it. Both sides have to do what's in their best interest. It doesn't make sense in Joe Schoen's mind to give that extra $2 million because he's trying to protect the cap into the future. And for Saquon Barkley, it doesn't make sense for him to give back that $1 or $2 million because he only has a very short window. This might be his best opportunity to get a contract, and they want to get paid as much as they can to cash in on the talent, on all the hard work that they've put in for all these years to get to this point. So I just don't understand why we give grace to ownership and management, but we don't give that same grace to the player who's putting their body out there every week. And we've seen what it's done to him. It's not like he snapped his own ACL or sprained his own ankle. That's what you get when you play the game of football, especially at that position, which is part of the reason why they don't want to give him the contract. So, you know, it just makes sense on both sides what they're trying to do, but I just don't understand why some fans are so quick to get upset at the player who's just trying to get his. I mean, his window is so small. And not one person has said, well, maybe if Daniel Jones didn't take so much money, he'd have something for Saquon Barkley left. Because if $1 to $2 million is nothing for somebody making $10 million, it damn sure isn't anything for somebody that's about to make $40 million. Maybe he could have gave that money back to ensure that the running back who helped him get that $160 million contract is on the team. Because the truth is, we do need him. We don't know what we got in these new receivers. We don't know if Daniel Jones is going to be able to take care of them. I mean, get them the ball. We don't know if the running backs that we do have, Gray and Breida, are going to be able to fill that void. So we do need him on the team. But I understand both sides. And I know a lot of people will say, well, Mahomes won with a 7th round draft pick in Pacheco, but that's Patrick Mahomes.
Huge position to be in. It's going to get very terse in that building.
Mahomes down the field, yes, and he's up and in, bouncing off the ground for the touchdown.
If you could weigh talent, Patrick Mahomes' talent would weigh more than every other quarterback. And let's just say that you need a certain weight of talent from all your positions added up together to equal a win. Well, Patrick Mahomes adds more to that weight than any other quarterback in the league. And the same way, Saquon Barkley adds more talent to that weight than any other running back. And the only team that I really see us constructed like is the Tennessee Titans. Because I remember when Darius Slayton said, well, one thing you don't do is not give your wife a ring because 31 other husbands decided that their wife wasn't worth it. Well, we do see the only team that we could really compare ourselves to, because the Tennessee Titans are heavily reliant on the running game from a man known as Derrick Henry. And he has Ryan Tannehill, who is just good enough to do what he has to do to take advantage of the weapons that he has been provided with, namely AJ Brown when he had him. We saw what that was like. They got to the #1 seed when they had a average, above average quarterback, but a very dominant run game, dominant receivers, and the rest of the team is constructed around that good defense. That's who we need to, if we're gonna go down this path, that's who we need to model ourselves with, and we need Saquon Barkley to accomplish that. Either that, or we need to change how we attack the defense. We need to be more of a pass-oriented team, and maybe that's what they want to go to. Maybe that's why they don't have the value in Saquon Barkley like some people think, because they want to go in a different direction. Maybe they believe that Daniel Jones can still get the same amount of rushing yards, rushing touchdowns, be able to pass for more yards, pass for more touchdowns while still keeping those interceptions low because we've upgraded the receiving core and he has another year in the system. Maybe that's what they're thinking. But I mean, we don't know. Because I know a lot of other teams out there right now, if they could negotiate with Saquon Barkley, like Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs, Baltimore Ravens, Buffalo Bills, they would pay the price for Saquon Barkley, because those teams are already so good that adding Saquon Barkley just pushes them right into that Super Bowl contending conversation. And maybe that's another reason why they don't want to sign Saquon Barkley, because they don't feel like, in the next 1 or 2 years, we're really going to be competing for Super Bowls like that. Maybe that's their mindset. Because when we drafted Saquon Barkley, that was my mindset. I thought like, hey, he could be a very great talent, but by the time the team is constructed in a way to utilize that, he's going to be out of his prime. So the pick would be for nothing. Now, obviously, we can't go back and change anything, and it's been talked about ad nauseum, the Dave Gettleman era. We're not even going to get into that. But, that's one of the reasons why you shouldn't draft him so high. And that's the reason why, the Giants aren't paying him. But we also should keep in mind that Saquon Barkley wants to cash in, and he has to be able to make a business decision for himself, and we shouldn't jump down his throat if he wants to do that. That's the business of the NFL. And if one side gets leeway, the other side should get as much leeway as well. So let's be patient. Training camp isn't around yet. I know people are saying, oh, he's not going to come to training camp. Preseason isn't here. People are saying, well, but he might not come to preseason. And the season isn't here. So we don't know if he's going to hold out, if it's going to be for a few weeks. We just don't know. So just relax. He's making a business decision, just like the Giants are. So that's all I have to say about that. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. And if you like the video, go ahead and like the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. And we'll see you another time.